Welcome back to the Bluegrass on this beautiful July afternoon. Let me give you the spin through so you can see what we've been up to. We're out at our adventure spots and we've been mowing and doing a whole lot of trail building and trail maintenance so that when people come out we can take them on fun adventures that are also safe. And that's a hard balance to have, guys. Fun and safe, they don't hardly ever go together, okay? But what we're going to talk about right now is I'm actually going to ask you guys for some help. Let's walk up here and take a look at my little cabin. Okay, so a lot of you know I bought a new adventure spot last year, and you know, like a lot of projects, you just get busy and you don't keep as close an eye on the progress as you should. Well, so I got a little cabin. I'm trying to turn it into a self-sustainable tiny home, kind of adventure headquarters, so people can come out and see me and maybe come out and camp out here at my little spot and have a good time. But I've run into a few problems. And I am a dog expert, but I am not a construction expert. So I thought I would reach out to you guys on YouTube and ask you to kind of point me in the right direction on a few things. Okay, so here's my little cabin. Now we're in 0.5 mode, so I'll switch us to regular camera view here in a second, and we'll take a look at the issues that I have, and then you guys can give me some pointers below. Okay, so this is a little cabin, and I will post some pictures up in the corner of what this looked like when we started. Old fella had lived here. He used to come out here and like he just deer hunted all the time, did a lot of cool stuff, and he built this cabin by hand. And like it's a neat little thing, but I thought when I bought it, I thought I'd make it just a little bit better. And so I got a guy to come help me. And you know, like a lot of projects, sometimes when somebody's helping you, like what you would like to see and what they see maybe are different things. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of my issues, and so let's see if you can't help me get it squared away. I've kind of taken over the project now, and I'm going to learn on this cabin, and I've already got another spot picked out where I'm going to build a couple of more little cabins, and I want to build them perfect next time. So this is like a learning experience for me. So do not feel, don't hold back. In other words, tell me exactly what's wrong with what I've got here and what I should do differently. Now what I plan on doing is there used to be solar panels sticking out. See, you can see where those 4x4 posts stick out of the cabin. Well, there used to be solar panels on this side and on the other side of the cabin. I'll show you pictures of those, okay? And so I need to replace my solar array. Okay, I was thinking maybe I might even build a whole like movable solar array out there. And I'm also thinking about going up here and making me a flat spot in the woods and putting an above ground cistern so that I can kind of bury me a line under this little gravel road here and into my cabin. But I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm thinking maybe it'll just gravity feed, but I'm no expert. This porch is all gonna go away because like the wood bees and I don't know, termites, something got to it. You can see, I think these are wood bees that got to it right here. But so I'm taking this whole porch away, and I'm going to replace the porch with whatever that synthetic porch material is, unless some of you guys have a different opinion. This is hardy board that's on the cabin. I like those board and batten houses, so I wanted my cabin to look just like that. Now one of the things that popped up on the battens is like how should they be nailed? And this has got me a little confused here. Like from what I understand, these corner trim pieces should be nailed first and then put up so that you avoid all those little wavy caulks in there. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these nails here. I tried to paint over some of them, but didn't look really very good. And so I was thinking maybe, I looked at some other board and batten houses and they would have just small trim nails, like 15 gauge, I think, trim nails. And so I'm not sure that that's right. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I'm thinking right now that I might just pull that all the way off of the cabin, but I don't know if I have to. Okay, and then along the bottom here, okay, we're going to do that Versetta stone. But I bought the Versetta stone and I don't have any flashing, but I'm pretty sure that I need the flashing. So, like, what do you guys think? Let me walk you over here. Tell me what you think I should nail the Versetta stone to. This is what I have underneath here. I'm gonna just pull these. These were just like nailer boards for some metal panels that were on the bottom of the cabin before. Again, I'll show you some pictures. But I don't know, I'm gonna put some kind of heavy board. Then I think you have to leave that Versetta stone like 4 inches off the ground. I'm not sure what you do there. The windows, those are fancy custom windows there, Anderson. And not too sure. I think those will be fine. I can just trim those out. I don't know if I need any flashing since it's underneath that eave there. Okay. So tell me what you think. What do you think about my solar? Should I put the solar back like where it was, where it's kind of sticking out of the cabin? Should I build a solar array out in the field, right? And then with my water, what do y'all think about putting an above ground cistern over there in the woods and then burying the line and letting it gravity feed? Or I guess I could put a little solar driven electric pump on it to have water pressure in the house. This deck, I'm going to extend that just a little bit and use a synthetic material so the bugs can't get to it. All right. Tell me also what you think about these nails, because they're kind of bugging me. Maybe they won't be any big deal when it gets painted, but kind of bother me here. We got a new door coming, a craftsman style door, and we just threw this paint on here as a base coat to make sure that this paint was going to look good when we got through. Then I have some issues here. We did like bead board for the soffits, but we have some joints that not sure how those can be finished, and a lot of stuff just doesn't line up right. Let me take you down here, show you what I mean. Like you can kind of see here, like see how, and we'll go inside so you can see that, but that soffit is very wavy, so I'm thinking I might take that off and like build a subframe or something on there. I'm not sure exactly what. Okay, and then let's go up here. Let me show you kind of a big problem that I'm having. You guys can tell me what you think. Going up this ladder, it's kind of sketchy. I'm not much on ladders, but okay. So here's my roof. And so it's kind of wavy, right? And then I can see these white lines everywhere. And what I thought about roofing was that the white lines were nail lines. That's where the nails are supposed to be. And the shingles are supposed to line up like this. Like the top of that shingle, or the bottom of that shingle lines up right there on under the nail line on this cut mark. Okay. Now, so guy's helping me. He said, no, we had to do the, let me give you a 0.5 view. We had to do the roof like that because it was a little bit out of square. I'm not sure that makes sense to me. And then we also, like right here, I got some flashing tape, and I think that has to be like redone with metal. I'll take you inside and show you what the actual roof sheathing is made out of. It's in really good shape, but I think it should have been maybe re-nailed to the rafters because there's a lot of nails sticking out, like to the sides of the rafters. Here, look at this. This is what I'm talking about these lines. See that line there? You guys see those lines? See? It doesn't seem right to me. I'll bring you up here and show you. Okay. All right, and you can see every single, the shingles are perfectly lined up. It's just like, it's like those lines were used as alignment marks instead of nailing lines. I think that's called high nailing shingles, but I'm no expert, so you guys, like I said, feel free to tell me. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, not even a bit, because I don't know too awful much about construction. Now, here's a view from up here on my roof. Kind of see what's going on. Walk up here a little farther. And over there, that's where I was telling you that I was thinking I would put my above ground cistern. And then that way I could place it high enough on the hill so that I could put water into it with an electric pump, but I could let it gravity feed down into the actual cabin. All right, here we are on the other side of the roof, and we have the same things. So you can see these lines here. This line's been, it's perfectly lined up. So I don't know, maybe you tell me, is that an acceptable way to do shingles. Okay, and then over here on this last shingle, oh, I got these nails here, and they're already starting to rust. So that seems like that might be able to give me some trouble. This is the view from the top of my roof. It's pretty awesome. All right, now we'll go down, check out the creek that we're working on. Let's see if I can get down this ladder. Okay, now here's another view of this flashing tape. Seems to kind of be losing its stickiness out here in the sun. It was sticking to the shingles a little better than that. And then here's a little view of this part of the roof where it comes together. I don't know what you call that, but we got to figure out a way to kind of get the soffit to match up with all that. I think all that needs to kind of come off, really. Okay, now we'll go inside. All right, and so again, I'll put a couple of pictures in here, but this ceiling was just a regular, like, I don't know, about an 8-foot ceiling, and we got helping me thought it'd be a good idea to vault it, which made it a way bigger area. Here are these windows that we're putting in. This one's not in yet, and that one's in, and that one's in, that one's in. Another thing, wondering, should I have the whole place spray foamed? I have a bunch of this kind of insulation left over because there was tons of it in the walls and in the ceilings. Another weird thing, the old fellow that built this, he put 2x4, no, he put 2x6s on one set of the walls and then 2x4s on the other side of the walls, which I don't think will cause too much trouble in a cabin, but I don't know. Okay, you guys look at that. When we first started doing that, I was convinced that the roof would just fall down, but it didn't. At least not yet. That's cool though, isn't it? Very nice. All right, so this is a 20 by 20 room, and there was a sink and some stuff here. It wasn't plumbed. The guy just, he would run water down through the sink into a couple of containers, just gray water containers, and that worked pretty well. Let me close this door here. And then we go out here to screened-in porch, which we haven't done all the demo on the screened-in porch yet, but we're going to take these this OSB board off the ceiling and the walls, and we're going to do like probably bead board or something similar, right? But look here on my soffit. See, so let me go back to 1. See, this is where my soffit starts off, and then it's just kind of wavy as it goes down towards the other end. You see? So I'm thinking maybe I can just take that soffit off and I don't know, build some kind of frame for it, I guess, so that it'll be nice and straight. I guess I could also take that, what's that called, a fascia board on the other side. Now out here is, well, there's a lot of construction material out here right now, but that's my creek area. So you can sit on the porch and like let the kids play out in the creek and the dogs play out in the creek, grill, have a good time. All right, we'll go back out through the cabin, walk around. This is what I was telling you about all this. I mean, I have a whole trailer load full of this insulation. I don't know if that's great insulation. I don't know if insulation, once you take it out of the wall, needs to be changed. I've seen a lot of people talk about that spray foam insulation. I don't know how much of that is hype versus how much of that's reality, but I would like to know. Okay, so come out around here, give you one more look as we walk by. And this is my propane tank. And what I'm thinking with the propane tank is I'm either going to have it buried or get one that can be buried, or I'm going to build like a planter around it so that you can't see it. Let me back up here. None of the battens are on this side of the house yet, but this is all going to have battens here too, the window. And then back here on this little screened-in porch, there will be another custom window. And right here where these 4x4 posts are, that's where there was the second solar array. And so I'm thinking I can stick with the way the fella had it before, solar array in the front, solar array in the back, or I can go over in the field and I can do a giant solar array and I can have power for everything that I want to do. Now here, interesting problem, okay, on our battens here, like they're supposed to be trim with these battens, I was thinking it would be better to put the trim up and then cut each batten to make sure each batten fit perfect. But the fellow that was helping me thought it'd be better just to kind of throw them up there and then cut them while they were on there. I'm not sure how that's going to work. And then back here with the single nailings, one single nail in the middle, that seems to, I don't know, maybe be a little problematic, maybe not. All the ones I went and looked at on houses, they got two little nails side by side, 3 inches from the top and then about 16 inches from each other. Okay. All right, and then out here, this is where you walk down. This is a driveway, but we are going to seed this, and this is all going to be grass down through here. Now I'm going to put a driveway a little bit farther up the way a little bit because I don't want cars right down here by my cabin. This is our little water socialization area. When we bought this, we had some bad weather a couple months in a row, a lot of raining, and my neighbors were building a bridge, and all the rock from their bridge washed down into this area. So we've been wheelbarrowing this out, hand shoveling it, wheelbarrowing it out. You can see all the rock we got out of this hole. Put over there onto the bank. And I'll go down here and give you guys a different view. All right. So this is our area that we use to acclimate puppies to water. It's kind of muddy right now just because dogs have been playing in it, but usually it's pretty clear. We got a bunch of little fish in there, a bunch of bluegill and stuff like that. Charlotte's up there with marmalade right now, as a matter of fact. Okay, now over here, and I'll show you guys this in a minute. Over here we have a little clearing that we can set up targets and we can shoot them right off my deck. And so we're going to put up a steel range here for pistol shooting right off the deck, so we can eat grilled ribs and shoot pistols, which will be awesome. Okay, and then over in my field and up in the hollers, we are going to put a steel rifle range for long distance and intermediate distance work. Now down through here, this is really cool. This is where we do our environmental socialization for puppies once we've left the pre-adventure area at my kennel. So this is really nice. If we walk down through here, now in the winter time, there is a lot of water in here. And this summer, where we haven't been getting much rain, the water's kind of dried up a little bit in terms of continual running water, but it never gets completely dry. So these pools that you see here, even last week when there hadn't been any rain for a month, this water was still here, which makes it awesome. I don't know if you can hear behind me, but I'll see if I can get turned around, show you these dogs. Marmalade! Oh, wait there for a second. Show them how pretty you are. So there's Marmalade and Hunter, and they're following me around, having a good time while I give you guys the tour. And this is nice, cool water I'm walking through too. It's really nice to run the dogs out up and down the hills, and then we get out in our open area. That's where we do our dummy launcher work. That's where we do our protection work, all our fun hobby stuff, shoot our guns, and then we come over here in the creek to cool off. As always, you can hear Mr. No Name splashing around back there. He's my mentor dog, keeps all these other dogs in check. Right here is one of the main reasons that I bought this place. You see these rocks here? Guys, I used to go down like all the time. Every week I'd go down to the gorge and I'd take puppies so that I could get lots of environmental socialization in kind of low traction environments, you know, because a lot of people that I work for, they like to go hiking in national parks, and, you know, people really started taking pretty, you know, I mean, pretty adventurous hikes these last few years with their dogs. And we had people email me and tell me their dogs had gotten injured. And primarily, those injuries were a result of a couple of things. Number one, the people not, you know, setting realistic goals or doing realistic preparatory work with the dogs. But number two, the dogs just not having a lot of experience in, you know, low traction or moderate traction environments. So now, instead of having to go all the way down to Red River Gorge, I just hop in the truck and I come over to my adventure spot, and I've got the whole place to myself. I don't have to worry about any unruly dogs or any unruly people, because it's all mine. And we have a good time. So it's just me and all the people I like. So it's just awesome. We'll walk just a little farther, then I'll get out of the creek for a minute and show you guys kind of how it pops up into my open space. And then maybe in a little while we'll run over and see if we can see how Eli's coming on trail maintenance today. All right, so look here, we're gonna walk right up through here. Good. These dogs are just following me around, learning by doing. That's my kind of my big thing, learning by doing. And then wow, boom, here we go. All right, guys, now this is super fun spot in the wintertime, right? So we have all this green space. Okay, and over in the cabin shed, we have tons of fun stuff. We have dummy launchers, and we have skeet throwers, and we have grills. I mean, we just have everything that you can think of to have a good time on a dog training day. And like it's fun when the weather is cool. Now, right now, in the middle of July, this area right here, you notice there's no dogs in it. Okay, unless I walk out here too. That's because it's hot. It's 90-something degrees, and dogs only like shady spots when it's hot. Okay, but down that way is my cabin. You can see George is down there. Well, Eli's down there. He must be done weed eating. And so over there starts our trail system. So we have a trail system that starts on the right, goes up this bluff, veers off, takes 2 or 3 little different turns, and then comes out in the middle of this field. Okay, or you can keep going, and it keeps going down, way down to the V there, in between those 2 hills. Okay, and then comes back to the cabin. It's a lot of fun. Now, so for as much fun as something like this is, it is not for the faint of heart. And in these economic times, it is not for somebody who's not willing to make a substantial financial investment, because everything related to maintaining property is expensive right now. All the stuff that we're doing on the cabin is expensive, and that's why the idea of taking off that roof or taking off that hardy board it's really killing me. But just mowing the yard and weed eating all these trails, pretty tough right now because of fuel prices, you know. Let's walk up through here. I'll just give you all just a little sneak peek what the trail system looks like. All right, well, I thought it'd be easier just to go ahead and go get my four-wheeler so I could show you guys this path in a little more time-efficient manner. So there's my man Eli, and it looks like I caught him on a break. Slacking, dude, slacking.
Not working.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Now I'm stuck. Hard to drive a four-wheeler. With one hand. There we go. Now we're good. Now, one problem of having a side-by-side with big tires is you end up rutting up your trails. It makes it a little harder on your four-wheeler. Georgie is supposed to be up here working on getting some bush honeysuckle out of the way, but I feel like we might have caught him because he's probably been up here talking to Eli and they've both been slacking a little bit. Look at him hopping off of the four-wheeler acting like he's busted, dude. So busted. Hey, busted, I see you. You and Eli's up there talking, and you tried to act like you were getting to work before I caught you, and I caught you. You better be doing something when I get back. All right, now we're gonna go on up the hill. Now, Eli did put in some good work weed eating this earlier because it was all grown up. Now he's having to go back with the metal blade on the combi and get all the big pieces of material. This looks good up through here though. Very nice. Dang, very nice job. Putting in real work on a Saturday afternoon. See right here, this is what Eli's coming back, and he'll get that, all that kind of stuff around on the hills there with the combi, and then George will root it out with the Pulaski so that we don't have stalls that'll puncture tires or trip people or get in dogs' pads. Coming to the end of where Eli was able to get with the weed eater. That's pretty acceptable though, considering we've already put in 5 days this week. The one thing we do, put in lots of work. All right, so we'll just keep on going up this trail. And now you can see why I've got George and Eli clearing this. Although we don't mind getting out here and tromping through this kind of brush. It's really hard to convince my clients that this is a good idea, since most of them, you know, live in the suburbs of the cities. Now down that way is where George is doing trail maintenance later this evening. And up this way is where I'll be. Pretty cool. I'll run y'all to the top of the hill. Oh, and then we'll wrap this video up. This might not look too awful steep as we're doing it on the four-wheeler, but trust me, pretty rough going if you're doing it on foot, and it will straight put you into the you know, a tired human is a good human category. And if you bring your dog with you, then y'all both be good for the rest of the weekend. Now look, this is what this storm did to me, and this is what I have to clear out. Because, like I said, normal people, they are not used to navigating trails that have logs all over them. Everybody goes to the Park Service trails, and the guys on the Park Service do a great job. Big tree down here. We better go around that bad boy. We'll get hung up. Now we're fixing to come up on a fork in the trail, and we're going to go just to the right. I'll take you guys to the left after we get it more cleaned up. So off to the left is where we've been doing our search and rescue training, because we've got a bunch of downed logs that span gullies. And up here on the right is where we're putting our steel targets for our intermediate range with the carbines. Got a little bit of mud here. try to go around it. There's frogs everywhere. Woo! Now that mud puddle, well, I got to really watch the boys, because any little bit of mud, and they got the four-wheelers out, and they'll do their best to root it out, and it'll end up looking like a pigsty. But look, right up through there, there's where we're putting our steel intermediate range for big time fun. And then over there is our search and rescue area. Let me see if I can take you guys up the top of the hill a little bit so you can kind of see. We'll just go right in through here. And then over there, Madison County. Not so sure how good you guys can see it, but I'll get off here and try to give you a little better view. You can see all this is growing up, and we will be cleaning all this up so that we can build us a big deck out here, have people up here. Look at that though, isn't that awesome? Good. Let me walk up here real quick. Now, remember I was telling you, the old fella that lived here, he just hung out here and hunted deer all the time. So there are these deer stands everywhere. We're gonna take those down because I can just see somebody climbing up that and falling down, hurting themselves. But this is pretty cool. It's got an old blind up here I'm meaning to get rid of. And then I have a flat spot kind of over here where we're going to build a big gazebo so when we're up here we can get out of the rain right up here. Okay. So this is going to be my gazebo spot where it's flat. And then off down those hills there will be my intermediate range. And then down on the other side of the trail system will be my long range steel. And then off to the left down that gully, series of trails where we're going to have a whole awesome search and rescue course. Well, all right, guys. I guess I'm going to wrap this video up, and I just want to tell you I appreciate you sticking with me this long. For those of you who did, I'll step out here on this rock and give you one last little view of what we're doing. Although this rock is kind of sketchy, because if I fall down this bluff, I'm going to roll all the way down to the river. All right, but look, guys, give me your thoughts on the cabin. Give me your thoughts on my rifle range and on my search and rescue area, and how I should do my trails to make them fun and safe for everybody. Because you know, I really, like I said, I'm a dog training expert, and I've been out adventuring and doing fun stuff my whole life, but trying to make sure that I make this a spot that, you know, more people can enjoy. Because a lot of people email me and a lot of people want to come see me, and for the last few years I've just been too busy trying to rectify that and make it so that I can see more people and help more dogs get out and get moving and do interesting things. Okay, so be sure to help me in this upcoming video series. And I promise, you give me some good ideas, I will do everything in my power to put them to work. And then maybe one of these days you can come see Uncle Stonnie in person, and we'll take a look at your good ideas in real life. All right, guys, have a great week.